Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run. Hope you're all doing well. Here of course we take a random character and random weapon and try to beat Danger 5 with it. This is a special one because this is going to be my 10th run, and so we're going to have a really good sense of kind of what win percentage I'm hitting at this point in the series. If you haven't seen my previous videos and want to watch them spoiler free, now's your chance because I'm going to go talk about what we've been doing so far and where we're at in the run. So take a trip over to those videos if you want to see them without them being spoiled. Alright, so we've played 9 so far and won 7 of them. 7 of 9, as any man my age can tell you, is the sexiest number, but I think we can do better. If I win, I will hit 80%, which is my new sort of benchmark goal, I think. I mentioned in a previous video that I wanted to hit 90% win rate, but I think that was unrealistic. Now that I have done a few of these, I'm kind of remembering how many bad combos there are in the game, and also I think I was maybe overestimating my skill at Brotato a little bit. But I think that if I hit 80%, I'll be pretty happy with my performance. That doesn't mean I should say that this is going to be the last random run or anything like that, just that 10 is a nice round number that gives us a good benchmark. I'm going to keep doing these as long as people are enjoying them. And of course, you know, let me know in the comments below if you're still enjoying this series, because that helps spread it through the algorithm far and wide. Alright, let's get going and see what we roll. We've got the Farmer. Alright, so this is going to be a really interesting one. Farmer, have I done this one already in a random run? I don't think so, right? Just checked that, and no, I haven't done this one yet. So Farmer, obviously I did Pruner in my guide, and that is by far the best tool on the Farmer because it gives you fruits to build up this harvesting boost. You need the harvesting boost because you have 50% fewer materials dropped, and without the bonus fruits from Pruner, you're just not going to be able to build up that insane level of harvesting that the Farmer relies on. I think there's a couple that are going to be really hard on the Farmer. Elemental builds, I think, will suffer because it will be harder for us to stay full health since we're not bursting enemies down. Similarly, engineering builds, I think, will suffer. Something like Torch, obviously, is just a bad weapon overall. Hand, I think, could be difficult for the same reason that it's just hard to stay full health. In fact, I'm kind of looking at this, and I feel like there are not a lot of good weapon options for Farmer. I think ones I would be confident winning with are Stick or Pruner. And obviously, we have to kind of dodge the bomb of if we get Potato Thrower, then we could be in some real trouble. So let's see what we get. Alright, we got Spear. I'm reasonably happy with that. It'll give us HP, but Spear is also not great at keeping you undamaged, which you need to be for Farmer. So let's see what we can do with the Spear and the Farmer. Try to kind of messing up my manual attacks there. You really want to be hitting multiple enemies with an attack with the Spear. Okay, we have to kill that tree. Really important to kill the tree, and also we really wanted to pick up that fruit. The reason for that, of course, is that will get us over to the 21 harvesting mark, which means that we would be gaining, on a normal character, we would be gaining 2 harvesting at the end of the wave. On the Farmer, we get 3 harvesting because we get the additional harvesting percentage on Farmer. Here, I am going to roll and look for more harvesting, I think. But failing that, I might just take melee damage. We do want our spears to be one-shotting things, and I don't want to spend too much money because it's going to be really expensive to keep our item set going. I'm definitely taking the fertilizer here. That's an excellent find off the first round. And I'm going to roll again. There's a chance I should just take the hatchet just to have a third weapon. And that would give us, I mean, it gives us another primitive weapon, gives us some more HP and so on. I don't know if that's out of theme for the build, if we just need to stick with only spears. I think I'm going to say it is out of theme for the build, and we'll try to stick with only spears here. I will lock a spear. We get to save 17. Do I want this Terrified Onion? Not really. I do want speed, but we can't afford to lose luck on the farmer because we need to be generating consumables in order to build our harvesting. Hitting that first point of harvesting before the end of round 1, though, was the most important benchmark, so I'm very happy that we did that. Always on farmer, if you can, try to pick up consumables while you are still full health and before the end of the round, because that way you will generate the additional money at the end of the round. But the most important thing is that you don't take any damage. I just took damage, so I lost a harvesting there because I walked right into an enemy right at the end of that round. So we should have I think we should have 2 more points of harvesting thanks to the breakpoints, because I cost myself 1 by taking damage right before getting that fruit. For that reason, also, we do want to get some regeneration on this character, but I think first I'm going to focus on building melee damage to make sure we're one-shotting enemies, and then attack speed because that's the thing that scales spears the best. I am going to buy the spear, and although I do obviously really want to hit my full weapon set, both of these items give us valuable economy, so it's possible I should buy Tree or Peaceful Bee ahead of finishing off my spears. If I buy either of those and then roll, we won't be able to afford another spear this wave, but we could lock it for the next wave. I think what I'm going to do is lock these 2, roll once. If we get a spear, I'll buy it. If I don't get a spear, I will buy one of these items. I'm going to roll once more to see if we get one. And once more. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to buy the spear, and then I will roll again. And the reason I wanted to do this is because this way we can have a good chance of locking in a 5th spear. We didn't hit, we got 2 other primitive weapons. So we do give up some economy there. I could have had a Tree and a Peaceful Bee, which would have been really nice, of course. More harvesting, but this way we managed to at least get another weapon and a bunch of looks at more weapons. It's also really important, I think, that I have... It's not that important that I level my spears early, but it's important that I get 6 early because that maximizes the chances of me not taking damage in these waves. Just the more attacks I have, the fewer enemies are likely to get close. You really have to play the angles on spear, and you have to play the game of maximizing your economy on farmer, so we have our work cut out for us. Bonus range I definitely don't need. That just slows your attack speed on melee weapons, and spear already has plenty. I might take 5 luck, or I could throw in a reroll here. We have 2 items locked already, but I won't be able to afford a spear and both of them no matter what. So I think I'm going to throw in a reroll here and see if we can get something better. I guess I'll just take 2 armor because it's a level 2 item. Oh, actually, I guess I would have been able to afford the spear and both of these items if I hadn't rerolled. I thought the spear would be more expensive, but it's not. I'm going to buy it, and then buy the Peaceful Bee for bonus harvesting, leave both of these locked, and I will throw in 1 reroll to see if I can find another spear. We didn't, but another Peaceful Bee is also very good. Since we got all these Peaceful Bees early, I can definitely make dodge a real component of my build. Very important that I clear these ranged enemies to make sure I'm not taking any incidental damage. I also almost walked right into that guy. Okay, can we get this? Because this is a consumable. So I'm manually targeting down the loot alien. Now I need to manually target down the tree, and we managed to get 2 harvesting out of that. That's pretty good. And as well as a coupon, which is awesome. One advantage that Farmer has, of course, is that you are tagged with economy items, so you are more likely to find coupons and trees and stuff like that, which is really good, of course, for every character if you are tagged with economy items. A couple people have asked me to do a video on character tags, and that will come soon. I'm not sure what the best format for it is, because it's going to be a lot of dry information presented all at once, but I'm working on it, so that will definitely come soon, if that's something that you are interested in. I think I'm going to take the luck here. We need to be generating more consumables. It's funny that you can spin your weapons in the pause screen. I don't think I've ever actually noticed that before. Because the more luck I have, of course, the more consumables drop and the more harvesting we get. Once we have reached a certain point in the game, we will basically be able to snowball off of our harvesting and won't have to worry about the farmer's inherent harvesting or farmer's inherent economy penalty, because our harvesting will eventually take over and outpace that economy penalty. But for now, we are still playing a little behind economically compared to other characters. That said, having the spear does make this a lot easier. Make sure to pick that up while I'm still at full health, because it gives us 15 max HP, which is, of course, a big boost to our economy, because we don't have to buy that. Almost took damage there, which I, of course, want to avoid doing. Very lucky to see all these loot aliens as well, trying to stay near that one. See if there's any trees over here. No trees, but we got 2 crates, which is awesome. Another peaceful bee. Yeah, I'll keep taking peaceful bees basically forever. We do need to boost my melee damage, but now with 12% dodge, it's pretty realistic to get to a reasonable amount of dodge early, and of course more harvesting is good as well. I'll take riposte here. We are going to be building dodge, and like I said, we need melee damage. And then here, I'll just take the level 2 dodge. I think we can get to 60% dodge pretty quick on this build, so I'm going to grab that. And then we have no speed, so I'll take some speed. Losing 5% dodge to buy 10 harvesting and some pickup range, how good is that in this case? I think it's still good. I did say we wanted to build dodge, but 10 harvesting on wave 5 is going to pay for itself so quickly on farmer. And then I'm going to take flat damage over the percentage damage first, but we will buy both. Getting a level 2 spear is awesome as well, because then we can upgrade that. Spear upgrades quite well because the base damage goes up by 10, which is a lot, but also the cooldown, the base cooldown goes down by a decent chunk. The thing that holds spear back is its very slow attack speed, and so any addition to the attack speed that you can get is extremely valuable on spear. So that's the reason that spear upgrades actually reasonably well. Even though it doesn't gain like additional damage scaling or anything, the base damage goes up and the attack speed gets better by quite a large margin. Once I have just a little bit more damage, obviously we've been reducing our damage with the peaceful bees, but I want just a little bit more damage so that our spears are one-shotting all the chaff enemies, and then I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Also, because I've built a little bit of early luck, and because I've managed to mostly not take damage, I think I've taken damage once this game so far, I've managed to build a decent amount of harvesting, even despite not having pruners. So that's the most important thing on Farmer, is just making sure you're not taking damage. Minus 2% speed for plus 2 regeneration is not worth it. We do want to build regeneration soon, but Campfire is just not an efficient or good item. I'll take 4 melee damage, that's great. And then we'll want to start multiplying that soon, but hey, here's a good way to multiply it. Let's combine, buy a wheelbarrow, buy a spear. Can I afford both of these? Not quite, so I'll go with the injection first. And then I'm going to throw in a reroll to see if we hit another spear or anything else we want. Take the peaceful bee. Do I want tentacle? I think I do. Crit chance, we don't have too far in the negative yet, so we can definitely get that positive relatively early, and of course spears hit for very high base damage, so critical hits will do a lot of bonus damage with spears. Flat melee damage is actually not a very efficient way to increase spears DPS, because they already have good base damage, but it's still worth buying, of course, because you get a decent amount of melee damage whenever you buy it, and especially because I've been reducing my melee damage. I think we've got the damage that I can allow these to spawn. I'm going to focus them down, though, to try to avoid taking hits. Maybe I shouldn't allow them to spawn, because the chance of... The way that a character with 50% reduction of material drops from enemies work is that it just has a 50% chance of dropping any materials. So those enemies that give 3 materials normally have a 50% chance of dropping 3 materials. So often you'll do a lot of work and then not get anything out of it. As you can see, we're still a little behind a normal character in terms of economy at this point. I'm going to not take bait because we need to stay at full health. So even though I do want percentage damage, this costs us a lot of money to buy because it's very hard not to take at least a couple hits from the lampreys. So you should usually avoid bait on farmer. I guess we'll take 10 harvesting, because we're still doing pretty well on that. And let's buy... I think I'm going to buy this whole shop. The Blood Leech does reduce my harvesting by 4. But Farmer doesn't have increase to harvesting gained, so it's only 4 that we actually lose. Other characters might have an increase to the amount of harvesting they gain or lose, but the Blood Leech will only reduce my harvesting by 4. That 4 will be compounded more on the farmer, but it's not the same as if I had like plus 50% harvesting, where it would cost me 6 right away. I'm going to buy all of these, and then we get our free reroll, which is great. Another tree is excellent. Even though we want more luck, of course, I also really want to buy some regeneration. Any way we can stay at full health makes me much more likely to gain money from picking up fruits. Lock this spear, and lock this propeller hat. Acid, I think I'm not going to take. Even though we do want max HP, I think we can get that more cheaply, and I don't want to decrease my dodge except for items that are highly premium for us, because that's going to be a real component of our early defensive setup if we can get that just a little bit higher. Make sure we're killing the charger so we don't take any incidental hits. Make sure we're stepping on the fruit. Oh, I took that hit, so I'm going to try to avoid picking up consumables. Well, I was going to try to avoid picking up consumables until I had fully healed. Now I have taken an extra hit, so there's just no chance I can get more harvesting this round, unfortunately. You can see how painful it is to take any damage on the farmer. Just costs you so much money. Alright, we actually did get a couple more points in harvesting there. Definitely going to take this missile. I want more attack speed as well, but our percent damage is really bad right now, so increasing that is important. And I will take dodge here, I think, over flat melee damage. Our flat melee damage could use a boost, but I really want to get my dodge high. Here, I'll just take max HP. We need that. And then I'm going to buy out these for the same reason as last time. I'm still not going to buy the bait. Roll again. Buy more percent damage. Roll again. Gentle Alien is still going to be good, of course. It's less powerful on this character than on other characters because extra enemies only drop half as much money. And the more damage you take, the less money you generate, but it's still just a really efficient item, and the max HP and damage are both very valuable to us right now. Take the head injury. Do I want to lock duct tape? I have only 1 armor, so I wouldn't mind increasing that, but our max HP is pretty low. So I'd like to get that to a reasonable value before I focus on buying armor. If things are starting to look dangerous this wave, we can always retreat into the corner. I took 1 damage there right before picking up the fruit. And then I shouldn't have broken that tree until I had finished healing up. Because that immediately picked up the consumable and cost me some money. Gonna try to just stay healthy here. Break that tree. We've got 40. I'm going to need to go into the middle to like pick up this money. And I just took another hit, so I'm going to not worry too much about maintaining my health and just make sure I'm picking up the materials that are on the ground in this wave. Still got a decent amount of bonus harvesting there. Very happy to take Fairy. Of course, we'll need to find more different Tier 1 items, but it boosts our regeneration by so much, and that's really important. I'm going to recycle the eye surgery here. Just take max HP here. That's great. And then we don't have enough consumable generation that I'm too worried about buying Weird Ghost. We've got decent healing. This might cost me some harvesting if I buy it. So the question is, do I value potential harvesting more or the 3 HP and 1 regeneration from a new unique item more? I think the answer is I'm going to buy it, because that will bring us up to 17 regeneration. So we should be able to heal relatively quick. I'll buy this lure, of course, as well. This is more fruits for us and more regeneration, which we want, obviously. Another unique item, but I think the first thing to do is just to upgrade my spear. And then, do I want Ugly Tooth, Lumberjack, or Lumberjack shirt more? I think I'm going to go with Ugly Tooth first. And then we'll lock both of these. With 21 regeneration, we are probably going to heal back up pretty quickly. I will try not to pick up too many consumables before we heal to full, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. More important at this point is just staying alive. Also, killing the loot aliens. So I'm going to try to stay near this guy. There we go. Did waste that harvesting from that consumable, but at this point in the game, the individual points of harvesting are less important than just playing the wave more optimally. Obviously, it's really important to get off to a good start on this character so you can start snowballing, but as we get deeper into the game, we just want to make sure we're staying alive, killing stuff efficiently. Even with minus 50% drop from enemies, it's still going to be quite a lot of material drop, as long as we're clearing the wave well. Taking a lot of hits here, so I'm just retreating to the corner to try to stay alive. We don't need the lifesteal. I'll take more attack speed. Landmine, yeah, this is going to give us 1 regen as well as clearing trees, because we now have the Lumberjack shirt. I'm going to keep buying level 3 dodge, so we're up to 35% dodge, which is great. Let's buy both of these and upgrade our spears. Notice that this one's down to 1 second. This is 1.5, so we gain a whole 1/10 of a second, basically, every level of a spear, which is really very good. Still don't want bait. Actually, at this point, maybe I can take bait. Yeah, I'm going to do that. The percent damage, my percent damage is pretty low. I also do want to start boosting my melee damage at this point. I've passed a few times on that, but it's starting to add up. Let's take the plant. That's 4 regeneration for us. Do I want to spend 24 on 1 regeneration from the engineering, just because this is a unique item? I think I do, actually. That's an expensive point of regeneration, but each point of regeneration is better than the previous point, because it just keeps you at full health more reliably. We're going to have lampreys spawning. Oh, I did not think I would... So we're going to take a lot of damage from there. I didn't think I would take that 17. I didn't think I would not be able to kill the ribcage guy before walking into him there. One thing that we haven't found any of is consumable healing on this character, and that would be a huge upgrade for us. I will also say our luck is not where I want it. We're just not generating as many consumables from enemies as we would ideally prefer. But overall, I'm pretty happy with where the build is at. We've got decent harvesting. Our defensive stats are starting to come together. Need more armor and more max HP, but when do you not? Let me go take a trip down the middle, see if we can pick up a couple fruits while at full health. Clear the rib cages, and make sure I'm picking up these materials. Definitely recycling the alien worm, even for 3 max HP and 3 regeneration, reducing our consumable healing is still just bad. Attack speed, though, I'm very happy to take. Pocket Factory is great because we already have Lumberjack shirt, so that's the whole combo online. And this is another unique item in the charcoal, so this is also worth 1 regeneration. I think I'm just going to buy out this whole shop. Can I afford that? I can, right? Roll again. Even this late in the game, like starting on wave 12, Vigilante Ring is going to be a lot of damage, and Blindfold will be really good as well. Increasing our crit chance is one of the better ways at this point to increase our damage. Flat melee damage would be the best, and then crit chance after that. And then as we start boosting our percent damage from the Vigilante Ring, that'll be good. And of course, Blindfold gets me to 40 dodge, where my dodge starts really adding up. Another video I have planned, if you're looking for sort of future plans for the channel, is a how dodge and armor works video. I talked about this a lot in my Ghost guide, but I really want to go into more depth about that because it's a question I see a lot, and you know, I really don't mind answering the question in the comments, but it does take a long time to type out the answer. So if I can just link to a video, that will actually save me time, I think. Speaking of, if you have questions about mechanics or just want to leave a comment, I think I said this at the beginning of the video, but you know, never hurts to advertise twice. You can always leave comments, and I appreciate it very much when people do. Let me know what's your favorite kind of candy, because it was just Halloween. Very happy to take community support. We'll need to boost our armor, but the attack speed is the most important thing on spears, so getting that is really good, and we'll definitely just take 9% dodge here. That's going to get my dodge almost to 60%. Boost my attack speed some more. Vigilante Ring, Blindfold, and we'll take this. I do again need to boost my max HP, but getting my armor back to 0 is so important. Take the coupon, and I think I will take Boxing Glove. Spear has no native knockdown, so knockback. Adding a little bit isn't terrible. It's not great, but you know, it's mostly useless. But there are some use cases for it. But also, it's just 1 regeneration because it's a unique level 1 item. Even still, though, I'm not going to buy the baby elephant because it would require me to lock the slot and cost 60. And spending 60 on 1 point of regeneration is not where I'm at, really. 40 is much more palatable. The best thing we could find still, of course, is... What exploded there? Oh, a landmine must have spawned right under that guy. I was like, I'm pretty sure I don't have Rip and Tear. The best thing we could find is still Crown, even this late in the game. Just a lot of bonus money. So something like Hunting Trophy actually would be really nice as well, because we're going to start building crit chance pretty soon. And just more damage, more health, more dodge, more armor. You know the drill. You can never get enough of those stats. Oh, gotta kill that loot alien. Got him. Still leaving a lot of materials on the ground. Very happy to find a consumable heal. That makes it much more efficient. We already have a book, so I don't need this even for the regen, so we'll recycle it. And then here, I'm going to re-roll this. We don't need any of these stats, and I think we can do better. I'll just take 12% damage. No, actually, I'll take 6 max HP. Our percent damage is not amazing, but our max HP is pretty low for where we're at in the game, so I think that's going to be the most important thing. Do I want Acid now? Gets my HP to 70, which is really nice, but at the cost of dodge, I think we can get our dodge back. We'll still only need 15 points of dodge. I think we can build that fairly easily. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the Acid, because I want to hit 100 HP as soon as I can. Terrified Onion at this point is better than it was before, because we're less reliant on luck. We also never really got our luck off to a good number, but it also gives us a regen, because it's a unique item. And I will take the riposte and roll. Now here's our Rip and Tear, which I will still buy, even though it decreases my harvesting. Do I want a spear more or defective steroids more going against this elite? I think I actually want... So an upgraded spear is basically plus... What's that? Plus 23 damage per attack and faster attack cooldown. But this is plus 2 damage on every attack, so it's 12 damage basically across my spears. So I think the upgraded spear is going to be more DPS. And we'll just leave these two locked. See what elite we get. This one shouldn't be too bad, because it's a summoner, so we should be able to attack it through its summons. Clear the eggs while it's going. Then once it goes into this stage, we want to kind of focus it. Trying not to take too many hits, though, which I have been doing. So it's okay to leave it in this stage, although it's going to generate a lot of little goobers. We want to avoid having it stay in the fast stage where it summons tentacles for too long, though. So I'm going to try to focus it down here. There we go, we pulled it out of the hard stage. Wave 14 is really difficult for fighting elites, though, so we may just not be able to kill it. Yeah, it's looking like we just won't be able to kill it. I'm taking too much damage per hit from these little summons, so I just need to focus on dodging for the rest of the wave. That was a little sad. Just wave 14 is so hard, especially because I had the Pocket Factory combo, so it was breaking a lot of the summons. And because I wanted to focus my attacks on the elite, a lot of the summoners, because I wanted to focus my attacks on the elite, I couldn't focus on clearing the summons. So that's okay. Our defensive stats got us through. We didn't gain any harvesting, but that's fine. I'm going to take armor here. We're quite low on armor. As you saw, we were taking 19 damage a hit just from the summoner shots. 3 armor will help a lot with that. Let's buy out this whole wave. That whole shop. And buy Insanity as well. Like I said, crit chance is a big deal for us, and that's yet another bonus regen. You can see why I value Fairy so highly also. This Fairy is worth 25 regen, so it's basically our entire healing setup all by itself. Lock this, and go to the next wave. So here we're going to focus on clearing the summons this time. Rip and Tear has some interesting synergy and anti-synergy with Spear. Spear obviously has a lot of cleave on the attack already, so it's less important to get cleave on Rip and Tear, but because Spear's cleave is all in a straight line, Rip and Tear basically widens the attack of your Spear significantly, so it's sort of similar. You can think of it to increasing the radius of your Spear attack. And anytime you increase the radius of something, the amount of area it covers is massively boosted. So I tend to think that Rip and Tear synergizes very well with Spears. Because the explosion can trigger at any point along the attack, and when we're attacking into these groups of enemies, you can see each explosion has the chance of clearing out another big pile of enemies. Should have tried to break that tree, but we didn't quite get there. Very happy to just take more crit chance as well. And I'm very happy to take more armor, because once we're at 6 armor, I'm feeling much more solid about this game. Let's level to a level 4 spear. I'll take Spicy Sauce as well. This has... The explosion chance isn't incredible, but we do want more max HP, and 114 damage is not terrible at all. More trees, of course, is always good. Roll again. I'll still take the bonus luck here. Let's actually take the Shady Potion, lock the cake, and leave this extra luck on in the shop, but more luck does mean more consumables. At this point, we're less concerned about building our harvesting, because we're just trying to maximize our stats for the end game, but building harvesting is still good. And consumables are also a really important component of our healing setup still. Even with only 4 points in consumable healing, it's really good to get burst healing out of them. As farmer, I will say you get less burst healing since you are incentivized to pick up consumables when at full health. So you can't do the normal trick of never picking up the consumables unless you've taken damage and storing a ton of them on the ground to burst heal with. At least not as easily. But you still gain quite a bit of value out of consumable healing. That's a question that I get a lot, that I actually find a little surprising every time I get it, is why do you value consumable healing so highly? And the answer is kind of just like, look at the game. It saves you so many times. I know that sounds a little condescending, but consumable healing just seems so powerful every time I build it. It ends up saving your life so often. Here, I'm going to reroll this. Do I want to... I could reroll this for dodge. Dodge would be the best thing we could find here. Or I could just take 4 regeneration. I think I'm going to reroll for dodge. 40 regeneration is a lot. Let's take 9% speed here, though. Speed is one of the things that we're still kind of missing. Yeah, I'll keep taking percent damage. Cake and luck. Roll this. Do I want a turret for 1 point in regen? I think I'm going to pass on that. At this point, we have lots of regen, and it's less valuable to pick that sort of thing up. I'm going to upgrade my spear here. I'll keep buying these riposts. Our dodge is quite good, and the amount of damage it does back isn't bad. Not amazing, but not bad. Alright. So the trick to fighting this elite is you want to stay at the maximum range where you can attack it from and run along its direction of travel so that you get a lot of attacks into it just as it charges at you, like this. We will need to use some manual targeting for it, and then we can go around behind it. But notice that as it's charging towards us, we never take hits from it. Spears are pretty bad for fighting elites, though, given the low damage that we have, because they often want to attack out of the direction of the elite. So I think we're just going to avoid trying to kill the elite. Just because the amount of damage I'm doing is low, and I really don't want to get myself in trouble and just lose this run. I think the run is going well enough that... I'm very happy with where we're at, but we have focused defensive stats really heavily, so I just don't have the damage to kill elites too easily. Let's take the hedgehog here, and I'm going to reroll this. We don't need more harvesting in wave 17, and I think we can do better than 8% damage, such as, for example, 3 armor or 15% attack speed, both really good. I'm going to take the attack speed. I think our defensive stats are high enough. I'm not too worried about them at this point, and attack speed is one of the best ways we can increase our damage. Take the gambling token here, because the closer you are to 60 dodge, the more valuable dodge is. Retromation's hoodie, I will definitely take. We'll triple our attack speed. And I'll take poisonous tonic as well. We already have a boxing glove, so I don't need that for regeneration. Let's go to wave 8. If I'd had the hoodie before the elite wave, I would have been able to kill the elite. And I think we definitely could have killed the elite there, but I wanted to play that round fairly safely. We didn't need any tier 4 items for our build or anything like that, and the only way that I lose this round at this point, I think, is just getting hit 5 times in a row by an elite and dying. But because we had really good dodge and stuff already, I could almost certainly have killed the elite if I'd focused harder on it, used more manual targeting and so on. But I think in general with Farmer, you're best off playing on the safe side, especially because this build has come together okay, but is not as strong as I would mostly hope for it to be. Just never finding crown, never finding any bags, meant that we still suffered economically in the early game. Gonna recycle this because we already have one. I'll take this though because it's, even though we don't use it, it's worth a health regeneration. 6% dodge, that puts us over the top. That's great. And then now this is 122. I can also go over cap and keep boosting attack speed, so excuse me. Dodge is really worth buying here. Still, even though were capped. Basically, anytime I would want twice that amount of attack speed, which would be pretty much always, I should buy the dodge. Though at 180% attack speed, we are much less inclined to buy attack speed. I already have a fertilizer, right? Yeah, so I'm actually going to pass on the fertilizer. It won't pay for itself, even with the bonus harvesting from Farmer, just because it's so late in the game. Do I want a level 1 spear? Combine these to a level 4? Why is my level 4 spear attack slower? Is that normal? Huh. That's interesting. I don't know if I've seen that one, but the level 4 spear is on a 0.47 second cooldown, level 3 spear 0.46. I don't know if that's normal or not. Well, anyways, then we're not going to combine these. Maybe that's just how it's always worked and I've never noticed. I'll still take the blindfold for crit chance. I'll still take the armor plate and luck for crit chance. I think at this point we are not going to take that. We don't need bonus luck going into wave 20. So we'll pass on the lucky coin. Gonna look that up on the wiki, but also feel free to let me know in the comments if the level 4 spear normally attacks slower than the level 3, or if we found a weird bug. Or if I'm just misreading the tooltip or something. Now that we have this insane attack speed, our clear speed on these enemies is obviously really good, and we should have no trouble with the bosses. The Retromation's hoodie was a great find. Reducing our range, of course, is also really good on spears, because they have plenty of range, and melee weapons take longer to attack the longer range they are, because the pullback time is counted as part of their attack. Gonna recycle that. We don't use any of it. I'll take this because it gives us some regeneration. And I'll just take more max HP. Obviously, we don't need that much more attack speed. We'll buy both of these. Roll and roll past this. I guess I could buy this for 1 regeneration. That's probably better than most things that I'm getting at this point. Let me take the Alien Eyes too. Is that decent damage? Yeah, that could help us burst the elites a little bit. People often ask why I buy these right before the boss as well, and they're not going to be great damage, but if you stand directly in an elite, which you can do because you have invincibility frames after you're taking damage or dodging, right before it fires, then all 6 of the projectiles will hit the elite at once. So it can add to your burst damage. I'll take the medical turret because, like I said, we're just looking for anything that can help us even a little bit at this point. Another riposte. So when we get hit, we are going to deal a bunch of return damage. So I didn't time it quite perfectly there, but what I want to do is stand right in these guys, and then, there you go, the Alien Eyes hit both of them. If you have Pierce, it's even better, because then the projectiles fly through them. Obviously, that's not a huge component of our damage output here, but I think it's better than most random items that we would get just by rerolling. Oh, took 2 hits there, actually, so I needed to be a little careful, because if I had taken 2 more hits, I could have died. Unlikely with 60% dodge, but not impossible, and that would be a really silly way to lose the run. Alright, my friends, so that's the farmer with spears. I think this is a nice solid build, and one that you could definitely do yourself, no problem. I know a few people have been trying to follow along with these random runs, and I always enjoy hearing about that in the comments. As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe to my channel for more of this and other strategy game content. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.